Most people realize that to lose weight, you need to eat less. But how can you do this without feeling hungry all the time? Let's talk about that. How's it going, guys? My name's Richie Kirwan, and today we're going to talk all about some of the best foods for helping to manage your hunger levels while in a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit is absolutely essential for losing weight. But sticking to a calorie deficit for long enough to actually see any results is far easier said than done. However, there's a lot of research into different strategies and specifically different foods we can use to help keep hunger at bay and make it a little easier to reduce the amount of food that we eat, if that's what your goal is. Remember, you don't win any points for making a diet more difficult than it needs to be. So anything you can do to make a lower calorie diet easier is a good idea. Satiety is the process that stops further eating by a reduction in hunger and an increase in fullness after a meal is eaten. It's what stops you feeling hungry until your next meal and may even cause you to eat less at that next meal. We also have a lot of good research proving that your food choices can and do affect satiety and the total amount of food that you eat. So we're going to talk about some of the foods that have the biggest effects on satiety right now. First off, protein. Protein seems to be the golden boy of the satiety world, as it's far more likely to keep you full than other macronutrients like carbs and fats. One really interesting long-term study showed that a high protein diet, about 30% of daily calories, actually reduced the total amount of food eaten in a day, which led to weight loss in the long term without feelings of hunger. Leptin, a hormone that's secreted by fat cells, can actually lead to hunger when its levels drop low, which is what happens when people lose weight. And this is why people often feel hungry when they're losing weight. It seems that a high protein diet might actually increase your body's sensitivity to leptin, meaning lower levels don't cause as much hunger. Higher protein diets also seem to increase levels of two hormones, PYY and GLP-1, which increase satiety and cause us to eat less. Protein also lowers levels of ghrelin, a hormone that actually makes us feel hungry. These are probably some of the reasons why high protein diets are so successful for weight loss. There are some other reasons that a higher protein diet can aid in weight loss, like better muscle retention, increased thermic effect of food, but we won't get into them here. So, foods like low-fat dairy products, including protein powders, fish, lean meats, eggs, and legumes are protein sources that have been shown to have strong effects on keeping you fuller for longer. Make sure to include plenty of protein with every meal. From the evidence available, I also feel that dairy products deserve their own little section on this list, as higher dairy consumption has been shown to reduce hunger and calorie intake when dieting. While part of this effect may be due to the protein content of milk, both whey and casein show protein satiety effects, it may also be due to the high calcium content of milk. One potential, but not proven reason for this is that low calcium levels in the body may lead to an increased appetite, especially for fatty, energy-dense foods. Low-fat dairy is not only an excellent source of calcium, but the calcium in dairy is highly bioavailable, meaning it's absorbed well when digested, compared to plant sources of calcium like green vegetables. That means that increasing your calcium levels long-term might also help to reduce appetite. So, reduced fat milk, yogurts, cottage cheese, quark, cheese, even milk-based protein powders are excellent sources of both protein and calcium. Okay, next on the list are high fiber foods, which come in many different types. Fiber is a type of carbohydrate that can't be digested by the enzymes we produced in our digestive system, and foods high in fiber can have a powerful effect on improving satiety and promoting weight loss. There are a few different ways that fiber can decrease appetite. Firstly, fiber slows the absorption of digested food in the small intestine, meaning there is a steadier release of nutrients into the bloodstream, which can influence some of the appetite control hormones I mentioned earlier. High fiber foods also tend to reduce the energy density of food, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. And finally, fiber can increase the volume of food in the stomach by absorbing liquid and expanding, which also helps to control appetite. So, foods like whole grain cereal products, legumes, fruit, vegetables, nuts, and seeds are all excellent sources of fiber in the diet. It's worth pointing out that not all fibers are created equal. Highly viscous fibers, so fibers that absorb water and thicken, seem to work better to improve satiety. These can be found in foods like oats, rye, barley, and even psyllium seeds, which people use to help with constipation. Fruits and vegetables also, due to their high fiber and low energy density, have been shown to have benefits in reducing appetite, but need to be consumed in large enough amounts to have an effect. My take-home message from that would be to make sure you're eating plenty of fruits and vegetables with every meal. Now, there's also some evidence to suggest that some non-nutrients, so substances that are found in food that are neither macro nor micronutrients, can also have beneficial effects on reducing appetite. Caffeine, found in coffee and tea, amongst other sources, has been shown to reduce food intake when taken before a meal. So, if you were looking for more reasons to drink some more black gold, appetite reduction is another one to add to its ever-growing list of health benefits. Another factor that's important in hunger control is energy density, which is basically the amount of energy per unit weight of food, or the calories per gram of food. One of the most important parts of food that affects energy density is its water content. Think of it like this. 100 grams of spinach, which has a very high water content, has about 30 calories per 100 grams. On the other hand, 100 grams of cookies, which has a very low water content, have about 460 calories per 100 grams. That's 20 times more energy dense. As fibre mostly passes through the body without providing energy, higher fibre contents can also lower the energy density of food. So it's possible to reduce the energy density of a meal by adding more foods that are high in water content and fibre. This has been shown to reduce hunger and the amount of food people eat later in the day. A very simple way of doing this is by adding vegetables, high in water and fibre and low in energy, to a meal, or by having a salad or a soup dish before a main meal. The added volume of food with reduced energy density can actually keep you feeling fuller for longer. Making low energy density foods a bigger part of your diet can not only help you avoid hunger, but considering most low energy density foods are also very high in vitamins and minerals, like fruits and vegetables, it also means you would be eating a much healthier diet overall. So far, I've mentioned that foods high in protein, fibre, calcium and water, etc. can help improve satiety. However, it's really important to point out that when these foods were compared in solid forms versus liquid forms, the same calories and macronutrients, etc., the solid forms generally prove to be much better at reducing appetite. One theory is that the body just might not be very good at realizing it's consuming calories when we take those calories in liquid form. And this would explain why it's really easy to overconsume sweetened soft drinks, which can lead to weight gain. The best way to sum up how to apply this is try not to drink your calories. I might make obvious exceptions for protein shakes and whole fruit smoothies, but in general, getting food in a solid form is a better idea. Now, after hearing all of this, it should hopefully be a lot easier to understand why the majority of processed foods don't ever make us feel full. Biscuits, cakes, buns, muffins, and many desserts are made mostly with refined flour, sugar, and fat, meaning they're incredibly low in protein and fiber, and very energy dense. On top of that, they're delicious, and this encourages further consumption, meaning they're very, very easy to overeat. It's no wonder that eating a lot of processed food is associated with weight gain. The foods themselves aren't intrinsically bad as long as you eat them in moderation. Their nutritional makeup, however, makes moderation very difficult. They just don't make you feel full. I like to preach non-restriction and moderation with my clients. If you want to eat something, eat it, provided it fits your needs and goals. One way to better integrate less satiating foods into your diet is to eat them together with foods that increase satiety. If you want a slice of pizza, eat it with a salad for added fiber and reduced energy density. If you want some ice cream, maybe have it with some berries for added fiber and volume. And on a final note, while most of the research I've talked about for reducing appetite was done eating certain foods on their own, it stands to reason that combining these different foods together in a meal would have an even greater effect on satiety. So with that in mind, meals consisting of a lean protein source, plenty of vegetables, and some whole grains or legumes might be the smartest way to stave off hunger while losing weight. Even though appetite control might seem like only a small piece of the weight loss puzzle, which it is, the science shows that reducing feelings of hunger on a diet is key to long-term success. So what do you think? Was that info on reducing your hunger useful? As always, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe to the Myprotein YouTube channel for more great evidence-based nutrition information.